Hey everybody, it's your girl T Graye. This is Bliss FM, Illastr8 Radio, and we got something special for you guys tonight. We got your homeboy, DMV's finest comedian extraordinaire, Joe Clair.
Hey everybody. Hey T.
Hey Joe.
What's up?
So I'm super excited to have you here. I'm a fan, of your comedy.
Thank you.
As an entrepreneur and as a businessman and everything else that you're doing, I aim to follow in your footsteps. I aim to be radio personality, TV personality, and your story to me is just so amazing. First thing I would love to know is what fueled your desire to be a comedian?
All right, so in the easiest terms, I ain't want to get no job. I ain't want to get no regular, man. When I first came out of college, I was like, I can't go to work. That's something I cannot do. Here I am. I'm walking out of school with a psychology degree and all that stuff, but I'm just like, man, I can't go to somebody's job every day. And I was coming out of Morgan State at a time where, we were not. I won't say we were pro-black, but we were very entrepreneurial black, if you will.
Yes.
I felt like the system had been holding us back and holding us down forever. And so I was like, why would I even enter into that system? Let's see what I can do on my own. And comedy, I don't want to sound arrogant, but comedy came natural to me. So it was just like, all right, the first time I got paid doing comedy, I was like, it's on. It's on and popping. I was in college still, and I made $10 on my first show, but I was like, $10 for that? Boom, It's on. And so that's what kind of drives it and fuels it, or at least that was at the beginning. And now it's more of a legacy thing. I get to show my children, how you could be out here in this world, how you could be a black person in America and still, sort of play by your rules.
Yes.
So, that's the driving thing for me. And impress my wife.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, you gotta impress her.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Got to impress her. Got to.
So going from doing comedy and traveling and hitting these stages and then making that transition as a young man from that to Rap City.
Yeah.
From that to jumping to BET. How was that transition going from just comedy to now you're on TV and you're in front of everybody?
It wasn't that. It wasn't too much to it. If you kind of, where we from. I'm from the area. I'm from, Sea Pleasant, Capitol Heights, Landover. I went to Largo High School, Bright Seat Road, on this side of the Beltway kind of thing. We think highly of ourselves. We always did.
We do. I'm a Glen Arden girl. I understand.
Yeah, you already know. We think highly of ourselves. So TV seemed like a natural progression to me. Like I'm supposed to. I always felt like I was supposed to be on television. That's what I'm supposed to be like. I never doubted it for us. I never even questioned my it wasn't even a question like, am I supposed to? I was like, you better get to the TV. And so I went right at him. And the transition was dope because a number of things. One, my girl had quit me. My girl broke up with me. No bull, the love of my life at the time. And she was like, you left and you blah, blah, blah. She couldn't see my vision. And
I know she mad.
Well, I don't know about that. She's married now with kids and everything else. But back then, you can't understand. Now that I'm an older person, I understand what putting someone in that position is like.
Yes.
Roll with me on this vision.
Yeah.
People like, hey, what? Hold on, what about this? I see rent at the end of this month. This bill's piling up. Do your vision got dividends?
Right.
Does your vision come with health insurance and that kind of thing? So looking back, I can understand. But she had dipped on me, and it was just like, let's go. That's one thing. I needed to prove that to her. Then it was some other people who were naysayers at the time. I said, okay. Y'all gonna see what's up. And then, like, you ever heard that story that Tupac tell about when he was in the club one day, and then his record come out, and then he in the club next week, and it's a whole
nother thing.
Boy, let me tell y'all. Chapter 3.
Yes.
It wasn't even a mirage yet. You missed it. I was killing her. I mean, one day I'm in the club, you know, and it's, you know, no love. He dressed funny. He goofy, blah, blah, blah. And the next day is, oh my, hold up, dog. Right. Hold up, girl.
Ain't you that dude on TV,
Girl. I'm like, didn't we see you? We seen you yesterday.
That was you.
On blah, blah, blah. So that was just like, you know, it was a selfish reason, but it was one of the things that motivated me. You know, yes. like I felt like I wasn't meant to be standing in no club looking crazy. I'm meant to be, my light shine bright. And if I'm in that joint, you need to recognize how bright my light is. And what I realized was going in there every night wasn't going to do it. But once I pop up on this TV, it's on. It's so on, and it's been on ever since. You hear me?
It has been. Mm-hmm. This has been a career that has spanned over 20 years. Mm-hmm. And you've gone from comedy to radio to TV and have become just a major force in media, in media one, but then also a tremendous influence on everybody. And thank you. For me
welcome.
Being on the receiving end on some of the positive things you do. But what I like about your career is that it's ever changing. Yeah. And I like the fact that you're chasing a new dream with your rapping. Mm-hmm. So what brought that on, and why now with the rap?
The ill part is the rapping joint. You can go, the rapping go all the way back to the 7th, 8th grade. Like, my friends knew I could spit.
Oh, Joey was kicking rhymes back then?
Mm-hmm. Everybody was. But no, not everybody was. I got drawn into it. Like, the first time, I never forget, like, the first time I heard Rappers Delight, you know, just like everybody else, it blew my mind. And I thought it blew everybody else's mind just as well. Right. But then when the next record come out from, like, Melly Mel and them or whoever, I'm eating that up just as much. And all them Houdini records and all of, I'm eating it up. And I'm thinking everybody else is at the same time. But everybody was on this go-go, you know, on go-go. And, of course, I ate go-go up and drank it down just like everything else. But I just knew that everybody was on the hip-hop like me. And, you know, there was just things throughout when I was still young that showed me, I was like, oh, this is a little different. We went to see Beach Street. We went to see Beach Street. That tell you how long ago this was. Me and my friends. And we went to see Beach Street at Hampton Mall.
Oh, wow.
Movie theater. That's how long ago this was.
Long time ago. Long time ago, you guys.
First of all, most people right now don't know what Hampton Mall is.
Didn't know they had a movie theater.
And then didn't know they had a movie theater right next to the fish. Remember the fish store? Used to be a fish store, and you go aquarium store or whatever. Anyway, we sitting in the movie theater and we watching Beach Street, and that scene come on was Beach Street, the king of the beat. I see you rocking that beat from across the street. A Beach Street is a lesson too because you can't. So I'm like, oh, this the part. And so I know the whole rhyme, right? Mm-hmm. And then, but I'm watching the screen, and then after it was all over, I realized that, you know, people was looking at, well, how does this dude know the whole rhyme?
Right.
And my friends nudging me like, you know the whole rhyme? I'm like, yeah, y'all don't know the whole. It been on the radio. Y'all ain't listen. And so I took to MCing and rapping just like a duck to water. And throughout, like, I used to rap in front of a go-go band a little bit. Special request. Shout out to my whole Special Request family. What's up with y'all? And then in college, I would, you know, keep writing rhymes and wrote rhymes and so on and so forth. So by the time I get on TV and the comedy is paying the bills, you know, I'm not really trying to. Everybody would laugh when I would rap,
right?
Or look for me to be funny.
Funny, right?
Look
That's
for
the
it to be funny,
expectation, of course.
And for me, I'm like, nah, man, we out here getting killed in the streets. Crack still going crazy. People ain't got mothers.
Right.
The ozone layers depleting. And we can't keep making the same old garbage.
You got to do something new.
I don't know how to make funny songs.
Right.
It's too much because songs are powerful.
Yes.
Music is super powerful. So I always felt like it had to be like that. And so by the time I get on Rap City and we doing the cypher, you know, every Thursday we had WRAP Rap Radio, and you knew if you came down to Rap City, you was gonna have to spit.
Right.
Oh, it was on. And I'm thinking these rappers is coming with their A game, so I'm coming with my A game. And I don't know if you remember, I used to eat some of these dudes up.
Oh,
I used to eat some of these cats lunch, and we would get calls like from the record reps and from management. Hey, please don't. Can y'all edit out?
Right.
The freestyle joint because we gotta sell records. Mm-hmm. And how we gonna sell records if the host
It's better than the artist.
It's better than the artist. But even still, some of the joints that even made it through the television, you know, cats would hit me from around the country like, you playing for real? So I almost had a record deal at one point. Shout out to my man Reggie Osei, rest in peace. You remember Combat Jack?
Yes.
Combat Jack.
Yes.
So that was Reggie Osei. He was trying to give me a record deal at one time, so shout out to him. And it just kept going. I never stopped rhyming. I actually made a couple of albums I would never release. And then I put out the my EP on my birthday. On my 50th birthday, I was like, boom, let's go. This is a perfect time.
And I loved your first song. Loved the video.
Thank you.
I thought that was so different.
Well, thank you. You can find it on my SoundCloud, soundcloud.com/Cleezy, CLEEZY.
Wow. I was in awe, really, of your talent.
Well, thank
and
you.
Just,
But I
know
did
how you keep reinventing and keep doing.
Well, the
it.
other part is I did the track too, though. See, everybody don't know I produce. I actually make music, make beats. I learned how to do that. So all of them songs on this EP, I did myself. This was the one time that I could go in the booth on my own. I felt confident enough to go in there on my tracks, and I always felt like the rhymes is there, but the beats gotta be on point. And so I felt confident enough in my production, and so here we are. And that's just the first one. I've had some setbacks this year. You know, it's been a tough year.
It's been a tough year.
Yeah,
yes.
Rest in peace to my dad, and my mom's not doing the best right now. So it's been tough. So I have a lot of stuff to go back in the studio with.
Yes.
And so this next junk gonna be, man.
It's going to be fire because it's probably going to be really coming from a different place now that you've had all these that's new experiences for you this year. It's going to be coming from a very different place. So I'm eager to see it. I'm eager to hear it, eager to hear your passion in your music. And I love when people put their passions to work. You know, and I do. Like, sidebar, season 3 of my show is coming up. I could always use a new intro.
Right.
What better than a new intro, you guys, than something produced by Joe Clair?
How about that? How about I hook that up?
Nothing better than that. So is there any one thing that you would say has been the key to your success?
All right. This is for everybody who's a parent. My mother, when I was 10 years old, she was divorced with 4 kids. My oldest brother's 7 years older than me, so he was 17, about to go off to college. I had another brother who was 15. I'm 10. My sister is 8, going on 9. And my mother came home and said to us that she is going to go and be a writer. She is no longer a hematologist or a lab worker at the hospital. That's not who she is. I am an author, and I'm a writer, and I'm a poet, and all these other things. And she was claiming it. Yeah. And it was mind blowing. At first, it was like I was a hater. I'm Ma. What you gonna? Not them poems you've been saying around here. They don't rhyme, Ma. Them poems don't. You know what I'm saying? And she had stuff that I didn't understand. She wrote a poem about a homeless man. It was called "For Jesse Who Froze to Death," and it was about a homeless guy who died out in the streets because of exposure. And she wrote she had a joint called After Ever After about Cinderella, but her name was Ella. Because we didn't, I'm thinking we think Cinderella was a name.
Right.
We say it as one name, Cinderella.
Right.
But she's Ella who had to take care of the cinders in the ashes in the.
Yes.
She was the house, take care of them cinders. So that's why her name is Cinderella.
Oh,
we don't never think about it. You know what I'm saying? We never think about it.
That. It didn't.
Nobody does. But that was what my mother gave me. And so by the time I'm getting out of college and it's time for me to be a man and make my way in the world, and my dad was an attorney at the for the Department of Education, but he was the weed man too. That's a whole nother story. That kind of ties into it though. I watched him, between her stepping out there and saying, boom, I'm going to go, and this is what I'm going to be, complete and utter change, right? Mm-hmm. But then watching my dad show me America in my face. Yes. Like, they never going to play fair by us. It's just not going to happen. Right. However, there are laws on the books that you can press them out with. Mm-hmm. In the meantime, there are other hustles.
Yes.
That you can have.
Yes. You got to play both sides of that fence to make it sometimes.
Me personally, I was like, okay, I talked to God one day and I was like, I hustle as long, I won't do nothing illegal or immoral. but I'm a hustle all day long. I had to try to do credit card scams. My friend,
wow.
I had a friend I had a friend who was into that, and I tried it for like a week and a half, and I was like, nah, I can't. Me personally, I couldn't sleep. I couldn't eat. I felt like something just off this little bit of stuff I was doing. I was like, nah, this ain't for me at all. And so those two together, him and her,
created this firehouse.
Gets me. My siblings are all like,
the go-getters.
Yeah,
you see your passion and you go get it.
First of all, we like to eat, and we like to eat steak or whatever. We like to eat nice. We like to wear nice. If I'm not doing anything illegal, that means I really gotta have a good hustle to make this money. I don't like to be looking bummy out in the streets. That's just how I was raised. I don't like to have to settle for the lesser.
Right.
I don't like to have you can only pick off this menu. I don't like that. I just do not dig that. It don't sit well with me. I'll do it if I got to, but I don't dig it. So if that's the case, go make some more money.
Yes.
Go make some more money. What do you have to offer of value to somebody that's going to give you more money? And remember, I told I'm not getting nobody a job.
Wasn't going to do it.
I can't do it.
I
need my days for myself. And so here I am, 20-something years later, 25. What's this, 2019? That was 94, yeah. It's 25 years ago.
We need to have an anniversary party.
I jumped out there, yeah. I'm going to have one with Miss Claire.
All right, Naeem.
You know what I'm saying? 25 years ago, I jumped out there, and I was like, let's just keep going. And prior to this, when I got out of Morgan State, I took a little job as a social worker. So once I got in that realm and saw the need for people who try to inspire or try to uplift or try to enlighten or at least try, I was like, well, this is my lane. This is my lane, and I'm going to run in this lane. And here I am today, over here at Bliss.
Yes, Bliss FM with Illastr8 Radio. So in keeping with what you're talking about and inspiring and putting back in, you do a lot in your community. And I was very, very surprised to hear that you're doing the real estate I guess workshops or what have you in Bowie. How did you go to make that transition? I understand, in wealth, in building wealth, that's some things that a lot of people do get into. But what made you say, you know what, let me share this with everybody else? Because,
first I had somebody give me the information that got me in. Once he knocked me upside the head enough times to tell me that there was something else over here, it was like, oh, I wonder how many other people in my community, and I don't even say my community, I say our community. This is our community.
Right.
How many other people in our community could use this knowledge? How many of us are walking around and we get nervous with paperwork? That's a cultural thing. We've been nervous about paperwork our whole life. Your mother ain't like with the paperwork.
Right.
Your father ain't like, they got to go back through my taxes. Whoa. You need to see two months of who? 6 months of what? You see what I mean?
Right.
That gives us anxiety.
It does.
And once I got in, I was like, we don't need to be anxious about this. This is just looking at you just looking in the mirror at what you've been able to do. And if you don't, it's just like any other mirror. If you're looking at the mirror at home and you don't like it, what you do, you're going to change it.
You're going to change it. You're going to fix it.
So that was like, boom. How many people can I tell this to? I was like, I asked my man, and I asked everybody, and really said, how many people can I tell this to without giving away all the secrets? They was like, tell them all. Tell it all. And I was like, okay, cool. I ain't asking for permission no more. I asked for forgiveness. So if I tell everybody everything, they just have to tap me on my shoulder and say, Joe, you giving away too much. But I feel like there's a need. We continue to complain about our station in life.
Right.
In our position as African Americans, and we have a few people that we look to like, I want to be like that. And then I realize ain't nothing special about him. Ain't nothing special about none of these people.
They human.
Jay-Z put his pants on one leg at a time. Barack Obama put his pants on one leg at a time. Michelle get up, she get the same 24 hours you and I get. Whoever you want to name, LeBron James, whatever Puffy, whoever,
right.
Bill Gates, Steve, they all get the same 24 hours. And we all have our mental faculties. We might not be able to speak the King's English, but we ain't stupid. If you in America right now and you are African American in America right now, and you are matter of fact, you good. Even if you under the poverty level, you know how vicious you are.
Right.
This is the empire, the United States of America. They done crushed everybody around the world.
Yes.
We done whipped everybody's ass. The United States of America done whipped everybody's ass around the globe. And here you are living in America. Mm-hmm. Under all this pressure, and you still manage to get up every day and carve out an existence for yourself, an existence that people from other countries would die for. Getting on rafts and stuff for. You embarrassing because you gotta drive a 2000 Nissan Sentra. Do you know if you take that same 2000 Nissan Sentra to Tanzania, how much it's worth?
Right.
You can not to Turks and Caicos, once you leave the resort.
Right, go down the street.
To
real Turks and Caicos.
Right. Boy, he got a 2000 Nissan Sentra. I wish I had one.
Right.
We in America taking all of this for granted, and I just don't look at it like that. I look at it like, man, it's an abundance here. Yeah. I don't care how many roadblocks you put up. I can get over these funky ass roadblocks. I'm Joe Clair.
That's right.
I believe in me. So
yeah.
I can sit here and do this all day
because
I really believe in us.
It's real talk. It's what you do with your 24 hours as opposed to the next person. And that's the only difference in what makes some people successful is if your grind match my grind, or does your grind outrun my grind?
Let me tell your listeners, I have met some of some very wealthy people, some very successful people in my time in these 25 years in all manners of industry. It's some dumb motherfuckers out here getting a lot of money.
You right about that.
Simply because they didn't allow that to slow them down. Yes. The I don't know thing didn't slow them down. They didn't have that paralysis of analysis. You know, we like to analyze. I'm not moving until I know everything. Once they let that go, so for your listeners, for the people who can hear us, look, man, I know Master P since he started. Master P never puts together a whole correct sentence.
Not one time.
Not one time. But Master P he's an example.
Yes.
I will follow him. I would follow that cat anywhere to the ends of the earth. You know, he's still selling them Percy Miller shoes out of Walmarts around the globe and
That's
killing
long
them.
Money.
You know how much money that is? Now we sitting here, I ain't about to buy no Bama ass Percy Miller.
But somebody buying them. In that contract with Walmart.
Whole bunch of people buying them.
Yes.
He out in Calabasas. Is where Percy Miller
living well.
And got him a white lady friend.
Living well.
He stopped arguing
eating
with all
good and everything.
Yeah, eating good on the treadmill every morning, giving us motivation.
Okay. I love old Percy.
Gold and platinum tank. With the gold and platinum tank. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So those examples exist every day around us, everywhere we go. It's up to us to tap in or not. I don't care what your parents told you or not. I don't care what your teachers told you or not, what your friends are saying. It's still sitting right there. And look at it like this. If you and I was walking down the street and it was an open buffet of food, just sitting there, good food, nothing wrong with it. But the people had told you the whole time, don't touch that food, but you never seen nobody go eat it. Right. And you seen maybe 3 guys walk over there and get it. He eating. Why can't I go eat? And then the guy who eats said, you better come eat. Jay-Z made an album called The Blueprint.
Right.
Come eat. Mm-hmm. You would go eat. You would be like, you know what? My mother and them tripping. Let me go see if I can get a piece of something off this buffet. And once you do, you be like, oh, y'all, the buffet wide open.
Oh, wow.
Come
but
eat.
Then they still be scared. That is an amazing analogy
and what you do is,
what's going on right now.
And I learned from social services, the ones who scared to come, they're going to have to be scared. I'm going to have to get them tomorrow.
Right.
Because
right can't now, wait on them.
I got to worry about these 12 who trying to eat right now.
Right.
I got to eat. I'm no good to you if I'm not eating. If I'm around here hungry and weary, we in the same position. We can't help each other.
Amen.
We just sitting here exchanging the same funky frequency between each other. But if one of us is vibrating at a higher frequency, and I'm saying, come on, somebody saying it to me, right. I'm trying to get on that frequency, boom, let's go.
But you know what, though? Sometimes it's the lack of the ability to recognize that.
Yeah.
To recognize when you need to go ahead and get up and get to that table.
Here's my, and this is why me and my good partner, Eddie Bryant, this is where we differ fundamentally. Because from teachers to coaches to grandma to babysitters to everybody been telling you, go out here and get it.
Yes.
Your whole life.
Yes.
They've been saying it your whole life. Be a good kid, make the grades, accomplish something your whole life. Society is built on that joint. So when I hear people say, well, I can't, I mean, like, okay, listen, one of these days you have to stop your conditioning. I'm sitting here telling you that you can. I'm showing you that you can.
Right.
And you still sitting here coming up with another reason why you can't. And then why you can't be, oh, I wasn't taught that before, or I come from this, or I don't understand. Man, look, it's cornballs.
Right, you can't have no excuses.
Cornballs out here getting this money.
Right.
You better come, man.
Yeah, I understand because, and Eddie Bryant, shout out to you, love him to death, but we've had long conversations where you're I feel like I may speak some positivity into him, and it's like, okay, now, let me see. You know what I mean? Like, I tell him all the time, I love it when I see him on stage. He comes in and the whole room is like electrified. You know what I mean? And if you don't take that talent, that raw God given what you got in you and just,
but let me,
you know what I mean? What you doing with it?
Let me tell you something else. No, with that brother, that's the only place we differ. But that brother, he's the one who gets it. Yeah. He's actually so caring for everybody else that he's like, well, what about the rest of everybody need to come across this line, Joe? Everybody got to cross this finish line. How we going to see to it that everybody comes across? And I'm more so like, okay, I got 50% trying to go across. Can I worry about these 50%? He like, nah, we need the whole 100. And I'm like, brother, I feel you. And guess what? I will support you in trying to get the 100 across after
the first 50 get over.
I gotta look. Yeah. I'm hungry every day. I didn't start eating to stay hungry.
Right.
I didn't know.
Right.
People wonder why. Well, why don't wealthy people do? They didn't. That's not why they got what they was hungry. Just like you, come and eat. Yeah. So my mother showed me resources. Using your resources. Every program the county had, PG County had. Oh my goodness. Oh my God, I used every program they ever had. I wore thrift store clothes. I got, I was the point of that kid. The kids had better clothes than me, better than I was like, okay, one of these days it ain't gonna be the same.
Right. It ain't the same.
Oh, you should have seen when I popped up on TV. You should have seen when I popped up on TV. I always knew you was gonna be some Joey. No, you didn't. No, you did not. If you knew that, you'd have gave me some when we left Crystal Skates that time when we had the opportunity, but you didn't.
Yeah, you want to get with Joe.
Now you want to give me some.
Now I'm just Joe.
Now I'm Joe. Or some of them call me Mr. Clair. Now that I'm grown, hey, Mr. Clair. I be like, don't play that. Call me Joey like you used to. Remember you used to call me dirty? Call me the same.
It's so funny in being local. So a lot of people see what I do and they be like, oh, you had Joe Clair? Well, I went to high school with him. He was just Joey back then. I said, oh, well, he Joe now.
But I'm still Joey.
Yeah.
Joey is still very much alive and well inside of me. But as we grow, I'm a man out here in the world. Yes. And I've been out in this world for a long time. And I went and did things that I never even imagined I would do. So with that, when you talk to me, I can see who recognizes and who don't. And then I'd be like, okay, you're going to find out something. You're going to find out that I am a stone cold monster, but you are too.
Yes.
You could be too. Just take your steps.
That's right.
It's really just that.
On your 24 hours.
And Eddie Bryant, speaking of multiple hustles, his comedy is incredible, but then he got a whole nother business hustle. That's 100%. So for everybody. And that's a natural jump he coming off of Montana and Saratoga.
I know that's
right. He over off Saratoga or whatever. So, we have that natural thing. If you put that along with figuring out these little pieces of paper and you're going to go forever.
That's right.
That's so right. Shout out to my brother for all that he does and all that he is. You know what I'm saying? I be trying to shout out as many people as I can, especially my team.
Yeah. Oh yeah, most definitely. He's a Love Below vet, good friend. So thank you. Thank you so much for blessing Illastr8 Radio. This has been awesome. I hope everybody takes something positive away from this. I hope you start to make some changes and take control of your 24 hours. You get your grind on.
Oh, can I say one more thing?
You can say whatever you like.
Make sure y'all come out September the 7th to the Bethesda Blues and Jazz Supper Club for the Joe Clair and Friends comedy show.
Yes.
Make sure you don't miss that.
Yes.
We're the first Saturday of each month.
Yes.
We are there with the best comedy show and date night in the DMV.
Yes.
Bring them on out, bring them on out, bring them on out.
And Nick Lewis is going to be there.
Let me tell you, Nick Lewis so damn funny.
Nick Lewis.
Nick Lewis so damn funny.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my Lord, he's so funny.
Yo, we sat on the phone for 40 minutes one day. When I tell you my mind was blown, like it's so many people in this business that I have an opportunity of building relationships with, of talking to, and they pour into you. And he poured into me. Yeah. And by the end of the conversation, it made me feel like I ain't been doing shit. Like, get up. Get all this right now. Go do it right
today.
now.
You can go do it right.
So many people that just pour into you.
Everybody who's sitting here listening to you, whatever it is that's gnawing at you in the back of your head, I want to. It happens. And you've been thinking about it for months and months and months and years and years and years and years and years. Guess what? You can get up right now. Like right this second and go do something about it.
That's
you
right.
hold the entire universe in your hand on your phone. The entire universe. You know what I found out today? About putting farms up on people's roofs today.
Yes.
Through my phone.
Yes, a lot of people do that.
I found out.
A lot of people
I went through. I found out the business. I found out the technology. I found out all the stuff just by a Google search on my phone. I even found the man to call.
Yo, a good friend of mine has something on his roof, and he uses some sort of system with the fish to filtrate the water and everything.
It's a hydroponic system.
All his stuff, and I'm like, wow, that's amazing.
So he's growing fish, he's growing produce.
Right.
And you can eat the fish, and you can eat the produce.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Self-sustained.
It's amazing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, everybody, listen, it's right out here around the corner from you. I don't care where you live at, what ward you live in. I am from Sea Pleasant. Y'all already know what's going on. My hood is, y'all already know. But that doesn't stop anything from going on. It doesn't slow me down for one bit.
It doesn't. And people sometimes look at where they are or where they're from, and they use that as a roadblock. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, that's just using it as an excuse.
That's a mental joint.
Yeah, and once you stop.
I wouldn't even say that it manifests itself as an excuse.
Yes.
All it really is there's an electrochemical reaction that goes on in your body. It's an electrochemical process that sends a little bit of fear to your brain and to your body, and you feel that emotion. When you laying in bed, that's an electrochemical. That don't mean it's real.
Right.
That don't mean that the fear is real. That's just something that's going on in your head, shawty.
Right.
You can and once you realize that, that's just like any other thing. It's like smoking a black. And that's just your dopamine.
After that first hit you, all right.
That's just your dopamine getting turned on. A blunt ain't really nothing but your dopamine getting turned on. That's why you can ingest marijuana in a number of ways.
Yes.
Because you really it ain't about the it's about your dopamine getting turned on. So just like that, those negative things you feel, man, you can control that too. You might as well get out here and get something.
Hell yeah, and be amazing.
And be amazing.
And
this, as we move into this new era, man, I got to come back because I got to run. I got a meeting to get to. No, but it's
cool. Thank you, guys.
I have a real estate meeting that I need to get to.
Yes. Joe Clair can teach everybody how to make that real estate money.
That's next.
That's right. That's awesome. I'm just blessed. I'm blessed today, you guys, to have had you here, to have had all our listeners be able to get this good knowledge. This is Illastr8 Radio. This is Bliss FM. And this your girl, T. Graye. And Joe Clair.
Giggity.